Hey friends, I'm in the test kitchen again. I got tired of eating Christmas leftovers and I had some oysters in the freezer from my Thanksgiving oyster dressing and got inspired to make oyster stew. Oyster stew was one of my grandfather Papa's famous recipes, and it's really simple and easy. So I'm just going to do a quick version. I've already pre-chopped everything and I just want to show you a quick version of it. It's so easy and it gives you a simple dish that you can have for brunch or breakfast or lunch or even as a prelude to dinner. So oyster stew is kind of like, unlike clam chowder, it's a lot more simple and very just earthy. I put a little bit of butter in the pan. I'll give you the exact proportions. Let that melt. And then you can add, some people put onions or garlic. Papa used to put bell pepper and celery in his, and I'm going to put bell pepper and celery in this, a little bit of both. I'm using yellow, orange, and red bell pepper because my friend Roble, Chef Roble, said don't use green bell pepper because it's more bitter. I don't know, everybody used to use green bell pepper when we were growing up, but I'm just going to stick to that, and I'll have the green come from the celery, which is the other thing that goes in here. And there's also a little parsley at the finish. So we've got bell peppers and celery melting in the butter. I'm putting this on like medium heat. So I'm letting the bell pepper and celery cook over medium heat for about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to turn up this water, a double boiler. I'm going to turn up the heat really high so that the water underneath that double boiler pot starts boiling, because once we get our vegetables kind of soft, we're going to take them off the heat and we are going to put them into the double boiler with cream, with a little bit of half and half, actually. Half and half milk and some salt and pepper and the oysters, because we don't want the oysters to cook too quickly and we don't want the milk to curdle or cream. So that water is boiling now, and this mixture of butter and celery and peppers has gotten soft. So now I'm going to take that off the heat. I'm moving this over here. I'm going to turn it up high and pour this in there. Pour this into the double boiler so it's not direct heat, it's indirect heat. Then I'm going to put my mixture of half and half and milk in here. Along with the oysters. And the oysters are also in their natural juices. And then a little bit of salt and white pepper. White pepper is a little bit milder and it lets the oyster flavor come through versus black pepper. And that's it, really. I mean, I'm just going to add a drizzle of white wine just to give it a little extra oomph. But Papa didn't do that. I'm just doing that as my own little touch, but not much at all. And so now you let this cook on the double boiler over this high boiling water just until the oysters start to float to the top. So just so you know, I also chop my oysters a little bit. Some people might not want to chop the oysters. They might want to put whole oysters in there. I got my oysters I shucked my own oysters, but you can get your oysters pre-shucked. So just let the water start boiling underneath this double boiler. And when they start to float to the top, just when they start to float to the top, that's when you're going to know that the stew is ready. That's how quick and easy it is. And today I got my oysters from Dorian's, our local seafood shop. I shopped local, I shopped small, and they gave me this mat, this chopping mat for the holidays. It's a holiday gift. Wasn't that nice? So I chopped my bell pepper and celery and parsley and oysters on this mat, and I'll be keeping this, and it's very hygienic and disposable. Dorian's is a female-owned local seafood shop, and everything in there is always super fresh. It's on the Upper East Side. Okay, so just waiting for the oysters to float to the top. Oysters have floated to the top. Some people say if you're using whole oysters, some recipes tell you to just wait until the edges start curling, but you don't want to overcook the oysters. Never want to overcook your seafood because it makes it tough and rubbery. So these are ready now. Only thing I'm going to do is turn off the heat and sprinkle a little fresh parsley on top. Actually, I think I'm going to put it in the bowl first and then sprinkle the parsley on top. And this is really pretty and colorful. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to sprinkle a little parsley on top. And let's see if we can tilt the camera a little bit. And you can see the colors here. It's Kwanzaa too, so even though, this is not technically a Kwanzaa dish, I can even consider this for a Kwanzaa celebration because it's got some of the colors of Africa in it. It's got green, red, purple. I'm not purple. Purple is my color. It's got green, red, yellow, orange in here. All we need is some black, which is the oysters have a little bit of black in them. So I want to say happy Kwanzaa and enjoy your oyster stew. I'll write the recipe in later.